guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you're having a fantastic day. Are you looking for ways to create beautifully inexpensive paper crafts? If so, you've come to the right channel. Stay tuned. Any season, any reason, any gender. That's one of the mottos of this channel. We craft for everyone. We craft for any reason, and we craft for any season. And we do it in a way that is not only beautiful, but extremely inexpensive. My current series is focused on Mother's Day, but any season, any reason, any gender. Any one of the crafts that we're doing today is completely interchangeable. And here's what I'm talking about. Today we're going to be making this beautiful little recipe box that has many file folders and recipe cards on the inside. Now I'm dressing this up for Mom, but we can make this for anyone. Simply by changing the paper, you can make this for any season. Swap in some Christmas paper and this can become a Christmas cookie recipe box or favorite family recipes for any season. And we all know that men cook just as much as women, so change the paper to a more masculine print, and there you go. So this is what we're making today. I think it's fabulous. I think you're going to love it. Y'all know what time it is? It is time to make it. All right, y'all, so here is what we are going to be making. We are going to be making this absolutely gorgeous mini recipe box. And inside we have many file folders. Now in mine, I have 4. You can make more for yours because I'm going to show you the process for making these, but I have 4 in mine. And then I have this recipe holder, and this holder measures 6 by 5 by 2. And it's a pretty good size, so it's great for holding recipe cards that are up to 5 by 4 in size. And as I said, swap the papers on this, any season, any reason, any gender. So I'm going to put these back in, and we'll set this to the side and go over the supplies that are going to be needed. And this will be a chipboard project. So here are the chipboard pieces that you're going to need. If you don't have chipboard, you can substitute cereal boxes, shoe boxes, just whatever it is you have available to you that will give you the consistency of a hard board. We are going to need 2 pieces of chipboard that measure 4 7/8 by 2, 1 piece that measures 2 by 6, and 2 pieces that measure 4 by 6. And then I've selected this paper as the combo that I'm going with on this project. So I have 4 pieces for the file folders, and these measure 9 3/8 by 5 1/2. Then I have some beautiful wrapping paper, and you can tell that it's scrap because it's all wrinkled, but once I put it on the board, it will straighten out. So I have 2 pieces that measure 3 by 10. I have 1 piece that's the inside liner that measures 5 3/4 by 10 1/2. And then I have 1 piece that measures 8 by 13. Now I am using a wrapping paper for this. Guys, if you go online and you search beautiful decorative wrapping paper, you will find so many options to choose from. One place that you might want to look is Zazzle.com. That's Zazzle.com. They have wonderful, wonderful wrapping papers. And then I have this sheet of recipe cut-aparts, and I actually got these sheets from AC Moore. It was part of the package that they gifted to me, and this is from The Color of Memories by American Crafts. And if you're looking for this recipe sheet, the SKU is 718-813-559-225. So we are going to go ahead and make the box. And so to start, we need the decorative piece of wrapping paper that measures 8 by 13. We need our 5 by 6 piece of chipboard, the 2 by 6, and the 4 by 6. And we're going to place them down just as I have them laid out here. So I am going to go ahead and just remove my tape from the back. And what I like about these wrapping papers, some of them have the grids, so that really helps you with placement. So I'll go ahead and put this down. And I'm going to give myself about 1/8 of an inch in spacing. And then I'll take this piece and we'll put it down using that same spacing standard, 1/8 of an inch. And now I'll flip it over, and I'm just going to use my big old spatula to get this stuck to the paper. And so by doing that, the wrinkles that were there, I was able to iron those out using my big old spatula. So now I'll take my stylus. This wrapping paper won't crack, but I am just going to go along the edges to get a nice little score. And then I'll go on the inside as well. And all I'm doing is taking the stylus, pressing it against the chipboard, and driving it into the paper. Now I'll stand this up, fold that over, fold that over. And now we'll miter our edges, and basically what we're doing is we are going to do an angle in cut right at the edge, and we want to be able to fold over and have a nice crisp professional edge. And so now I can take my tape runner. I am just going to place tape on these outer flaps, and we're going to fold them over. So I'll just stand that up, fold over on all four sides. And so now we have this piece. We're going to take that inside liner and place it in just like that. So what I'm going to do is take my tape, and I am going to place my tape down just so that it will cover the chipboard. I'll just make sure I have that tape nice and stuck. I'll peel away the tape. And I'm just going to take my glue and place my glue along the edges on all four sides. And so now that I have my glue on the back of my liner piece, I can just place it down. And then I'm going to use my paper towel to get everything stuck initially. And then I'll bring in my handy dandy big old spatula to get everything nice and stuck and to make sure that the spine is nice and defined. So I am just going in, making sure that I work that glue, get everything nice and stuck, and then I'll hold it up. And what I'm looking for is to see if there's any puckering of the paper in the corners or right here, and that bubbling would mean that I need to stick it down more, and there's not, so we're good on that. So now we have the jacket part, and we need to bring in the two pieces of chipboard that measure 4 7/8 by 2. I'm going to remove my tape. And guys, when I say there are beautiful wrapping papers on the market, there really are, and you will have so much fun just doing searches and looking because there are so many. So what I'm going to do is take this and place it down just like this. We're going to do a wrap over, and then I'll angle here and angle out there. Then here at the bottom, I'll just miter, and then I'll do that same angling here. So this is what you're going to have. We are going to take our glue and just go ahead and fold that over. Get it nice and stuck. And we'll have this. Now I'm simply going to take my finger blade Now, usually what you'll see me do is wrap this way and then trim the excess. I'm not. I am just going to take my finger blade and just angle in a little bit. Because I want to make sure that this time, and I'm going to take off a little more here, and I'll explain why in just a minute. Because this time I want to make sure that when I wrap, all of that paper that I'm wrapping over is on the inside. I want to make sure that I don't have any edges showing there. And then I'm just going to trim away this part like that. And then I'll come back and I'm just going to trim away a sliver because I want that to be on the inside like that as well. So all of my paper is hitting on the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this and we'll do the next one together. And it should make sense. Hopefully it'll make sense. So I'm just using glue on this because it's a small piece of chipboard. So I really don't have to worry about that warping. So I'll just get that stuck. And now I have a nice clean side piece. We're going to do the same thing over here. So I'll take this piece, I'm going to place it down just like that. Then I'll angle here, notch out that V. Miter, miter, and then notch out that V here. And now I can take my glue, place my glue on these pieces. And I'll stand that up to fold that over. Then I'll fold over that piece. And we'll fold over this piece. And then I can use my big old spatula to get everything nice and stuck. So all I'm going to do, and I'll show you this with my little bone folder here as a guide, I'm placing it right at the edge here. And I'm coming in at a slight angle so that I can fold over and have all of my paper hit on the inside. And so you're able to tell that I'm angling in because you can see it's wide here and then it tapers. So I'll do the same thing over here. And now when I fold that, everything falls on the inside. I'm going to flip it, trim away that excess. Then when I open it, I'll trim away just a little bit more so that when I fold it over here, that doesn't stick out. So let's go ahead and place that glue, get this stuck, and we will put this together. So now that I have my two side pieces, they'll go in like this. So wherever you have the folded over piece showing, that is the inside. So before you put this together, make sure that you do a test fit, and you want to make sure that it's going to fit snugly around here and that it's not sticking over the top. And you'll notice that right here we've got this part. We won't be putting any glue on that section. So it's going to be very simple. We are going to take our glue and we're going to run glue along three sides of the chipboard. Once we have that glue, we're going to take this. I'm going in about 1/16 of an inch, not much at all. And then I'll bring that piece up. I'll turn it sideways so you can see what I've done. I'm going to push that in that corner just a little bit. And then all I'm going to do is press down and squeeze in. Press down and squeeze in. And then I'll let this dry just a little bit before I put that second piece in. Now, I can tell you from experience with this process, if you use enough glue and you do it properly, this is going to hold. And for those of you who want to know what type of adhesive I use Reptile Glue. And guys, I'm telling you, this adhesive was originally meant for tile installation in homes. Then it was discovered that it has so many different uses, and one of them was crafting. So if it will stick down tile in a bathroom where you have the humidity from the shower just all over the place, it is going to hold this as long as you put down enough and you allow it to dry. And that is an unsolicited testimonial for Reptile. I absolutely love it. I do not work for Reptile. I discovered the power of the glue on my own. They did not reach out to me. I just love the glue. So now that this one is dry enough, and I'm letting it dry for about 5 minutes before I place in the other side. So now that it's dry enough, we're going to do the same thing over here. So make sure that you have that fold over piece facing the inside, which means that this will be the side where you won't take the glue all the way to the top. You'll go up a little bit and stop. And now I'm going to take that second piece and just maneuver it into place and do the same thing we did on the other side. So I'll get it into place. Make sure I have it in far enough. And if I don't, I can just take my fingers and push it in just a little bit. And then I can press it down and squeeze in. And all we need to do is let this part dry. And one thing that I forgot to mention about Reptile, they are female owned. And I've had an opportunity to speak with Cynthia Ramsey, who is the owner of Reptile. And she is just such a beautiful person. So I am more than happy to talk about Reptile because I believe in it. So we have both of our sides in. We're going to give this a chance to dry, and while it's drying, we'll go ahead and make our recipe file folders. All right, so to make the recipe file folders, it's going to be very simple. I have 4 pieces of decorative cardstock that measure 9 3/8 by 5 1/2. I'm going to place these in on the 9 3/8 inch side, score at 4 1/2, score at 9. On all 4. 4 1/2 and 9. And guys, you are going to be amazed that we're able to make our own file folders without needing a punch board. And so we'll take our file folders and we're just going to go ahead and fold all of them in half. And so here's how we're going to do these. Very, very simple. So here at the top, where we scored at 9 3/8, we're simply going to go to the score mark and make a notch wherever you want. And then we can take this piece, fold it over, and glue it down. Easy, easy peasy. So then I'll take my scissors and I'm just going to round this a little bit. If you have a corner rounder, perfect. But I'm just going to round this to give it more of that file folder look. And you can see just like that, we made a very simple file folder. Now to make the second one, I am going to take the first one because I want to use this tab position as a guide for where I'll place the next one. So I have it on top. I'm going to bring in my finger blade, place it right where that first tab stops. Then I'll angle just like that. And so now I can put that one to the side. I angled here. Then I'll go to the score mark that I made and angle. And now I can take these two pieces and fold them over. So we'll take our glue, glue those over. And that's what we have. I'm going to take my scissors and just round a little bit. And now we have our second one. And you can see that when we take that first one and put it, we have our tab positions going in the right direction. So I'll take my third one, take the folder that I just did, and we'll do the same thing. So I'm going to use that as a guide to make that cut. Then I can take this in, place my glue, get that nice and stuck, and then I'll just do a little bit of rounding. And so now we have 3 file folders that have tab position. So now we can come back. We don't even need these 3. We can repeat that process. Go to that score mark that we made at 9 3/8 and just make a notch in. Fold that over. And then I'll take my glue, place that glue, just like that. Use my scissors again, and I should have grabbed my smaller scissors for this. And I'm just going to round. And we have 4 folders. Like I said, you could make more folders if you want. I think that you could comfortably get 12 to 16 folders in this holder, even with the recipe card on the inside. But isn't that beautiful? I absolutely love how this has turned out. So I am going to set that to the side, and we're going to bring in the recipe sheet and cut out our recipe cards. Now I'm going to have to do a little bit of trimming on these because these cards are just a little bit wider than I wanted. So I am just going to be doing a little bit of trimming. All right, so I have trimmed my recipe cards to fit on the inside so you could write your wonderful recipe and any notes that you might want to attach and put them in your folder. This is so sweet. I absolutely love how this turned out. And I have not dressed the front of these. I probably will because I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with this. So I'm not going to put any dressing on the front of these just yet. But I will put them back on the inside so you can see that we have this beautiful file folder. And then I'm going to take one of my brackets and put it right there because I think it gives it more of that little file drawer look. So in order to get what I need, I am going to sacrifice one of my recipe cards. So I'm going to place that down, and then I'm just going to make myself some marks of where I need to trim. And now I'll bring in my scissors, and I'm just going to trim on the inside of the marks that I made. And so now when we put that down, it's going to look just like that. So I'm actually going to glue this down when you make yours, if you use that file bracket and you don't want to glue it down, you don't have to if you want to change out the message that might be inside of the bracket, but I am going to leave mine just as is. I have that down. Now, once again, I can use my Reptile Glue to place down this bracket. So I'm going to take this, get it placed, look at it, get it straight. And there we have it, y'all. Isn't this absolutely gorgeous? I added a couple of gems just to the bracket holes, and I think they turned out beautifully. I'm going to take them out once again so that you can see this finished little project that we have here. And like I said, any season, any reason, any gender. I think that this is absolutely stunning, and I think that anyone who gets it will be thrilled to have it. So easy, but so upscale. That's what we're doing, guys. We are taking paper and turning it into something that is absolutely boutique looking. I'm going to bring that first one back in so that you can have a look at it as well. There we have both of our beautiful recipe boxes with custom-made mini file folders that did not require the use of a punch board. That is super special crafting. So I hope that you guys have liked this project. If you have, please hit the like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, I would love to have you join this amazing online crafting family. You guys, as always, please be safe, be kind, happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.